Today we're going to be extending the moss pole of my Philodendron Verrucosum, finally. I think I mentioned a few videos ago that I wanted to either extend the moss pole or propagate it. For obvious reasons. This is the current state of my Philodendron Verrucosum. I'm pretty sure it is rooted in the moss pole in some places, but obviously not where all of this new growth is. So I really want to get the rest of the plant onto a pole in hopes of getting bigger leaves in the near future. I am going to be using one of my plastic moss poles. I'm pretty sure all of my plants have these moss poles except for like one of them. These are definitely my favorite and they are linked in my Amazon storefront if you want to get them. Back to this guy. I cannot tell you how tempted I am to propagate this, but I've honestly never been that successful in propagating Philodendron Verrucosum. I usually buy a plant that has decent sized leaves. I've had multiple Philodendron Verrucosum in the past that come with really big leaves, and as soon as I propagate it, I never get the same sized leaves ever again. So that's really why I'm choosing to extend the moss pole rather than chop this up. This is just a random stem right here that looks like it's dying, so I'm just gonna chop that off. I just wanted to show you guys how it's rooted in the pole. Because if it wasn't rooted in the pole, I would honestly just chop the whole plant up. But since it is rooted in the pole, I just have more hope for this plant. So I'm really trying to get it to be more mature. But this plant is already 2 moss poles deep. So this thing is about to be ginormous. Look at how pretty all of these leaves are. Oh my god, these really are so pretty. Moss pole is literally always wet because it takes water from the bottom of the pot. It's in a self-watering pot, but there's moss all the way down to the bottom of the pole, so it sucks up a lot of water. Like, I really have to keep an eye on this plant or it dries out super quickly. I accidentally made a mistake of not putting leca at the bottom of my moss poles while I was repotting some plants in Semihydro, so it is what it is right now, but when I repot these plants, I will definitely be redoing those. I was gonna take it out to see what the roots are looking like, but I didn't want to spill water. I don't think it's looking good. Okay, let me back this shit up. Bag. Oh my god. I never figured out what these holes were for. I think somebody told me that these holes were to connect the moss poles together, but I don't know how that's supposed to work, so. I do usually place the moss pole this way, so those holes are at the top, and then this is at the bottom, just so I'm not covering where the plant actually needs to get in there and root, you know? These might be 2 different sized moss poles, like they are. Oh my god, I just noticed. The moss pole that I'm using and the moss pole that's already in the pot has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares across, and this one has 5. So this one is a little bit wider. I don't know if that's gonna be good. This is huge. But I don't have any more of the smaller ones anywhere that I know of.
12 seconds later.
Okay, I have this Monstera albo that I've chopped down to 3 leaves. It actually just put out this leaf right here, and it's in the middle of putting out another one that I'm pretty sure is gonna be really variegated, but I don't think it needs this moss pole. So I'm gonna take it out of this moss pole because it's the perfect size that I need, but this isn't like a plant that I'm super into, so he can lose his moss pole today. There we go. I have another one with 4 holes. Thank God, because that was really bothering me. Okay. Okay, that's a lot better. That's a way better fit. And now I'm just gonna attach the plant to the pole before, or should I fill it up first? I think we should fill it up first, so let's do that. This thing is so tall now. Oh my god. You can see like half of it is dry though, so I'm just gonna wet it really quick. Actually, I should probably wet it last. So let's get the leaves attached to the pole maybe, and then we'll wet it. Look how big is this though. Okay, so about here. Let's see if this can look any crazier than it already does. Oh my gosh. We have a new leaf coming out soon in this one, if you can tell. You can see the little red hues inside. This is kind of hard because they're definitely not going straight up. Like, what in the world? Let's see. Just gonna hook that right underneath that one. Okay. I just wanted to get it so that those nodes were in there, or at least touching the moss. Yay, I'm so happy, even though I feel like this thing is gonna fall over. Okay, it definitely doesn't look as bad as I thought it was gonna look. I really like it. It's super, super tall now. It's probably up to my waist if I stand up, but yeah, we finally got his moss pole extended. I cannot wait to see this plant take off. Hopefully it does, and hopefully I get some bigger leaves, because it's just been unheard of every time I switch a Philodendron Verrucosum to Semihydro. But what I really want to do is order another Philodendron Verrucosum and leave it in soil and kind of slowly switch it to Semihydro, like I did my Philodendron SP Columbia and my Dragon Scale, because they're doing so well. Like, look at the leaf comparison, and this was the leaf that came out before this leaf, and I feel like it's just so much bigger. Like that compared to this. I'm so excited for this plant, and this is one that I slowly am switching to Semihydro. It's still in soil, but it's surrounded by a fluval as well, and it's doing so good. So I really want to get another Philodendron Verrucosum so I can do the same thing and hopefully get the same results. I water all of my plants with these little squeezy bottles. It's just easier. I'm just gonna, oops, squeeze in the holes. Squeezing it down from the top. I just don't want it to go too far down because the bottom of the pole is pretty wet. So I'm trying to squeeze it in where it's really dry. I think it's good. It's literally soaked now. Oh my god. And so is the floor. There we have her. I'm so excited for this plant. This plant has been through so much, like, you literally have no idea. How cool is this? I do think it's starting to mature because a lot of the leaves are getting little fuzzies on the back, which is really exciting. But that does bring me to the end of today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And until my next video, bye!